2011 heralds the 10-year anniversary of the Laureus Sport for Good Foundation's support of projects in Australia. To celebrate this milestone, Spirit of Sport joined Australian Laureus Academy members Kathy Freeman, Steve Waugh, Lane Beachley, Dawn Fraser and Mick Doohan as they toured Sport for Good projects in Australia to address pressing social problems and use their profile to inspire children through sport. Kicking off the event in Sydney was iconic Indigenous athlete and Olympic gold medalist Kathy Freeman.
Well, Laureus are focusing on the Indigenous children here in Sydney. I'm obviously very proud of my Indigenous heritage, and I'm very happy to be a Laureus Academy member, but also a role model, especially for the Indigenous children of Australia.
Statistically, young Indigenous Australians are most at risk from crime and health issues and are less likely than young non-Indigenous Australians to be fully engaged in study or work. To tackle this social issue, the Australian Sports Commission created the Indigenous Sports Programme, an initiative supported by the Laureus Sport for Good Foundation. The programme uses a range of sports to encourage disadvantaged Aboriginal children to be more active and provides the support they need to achieve personal sporting goals and develop as healthy, active and happy individuals.
Sport does become a lifelong journey for a lot of people, and if you sort of get behind sport, you can do anything from there.
Australian cricketing hero and Academy member Steve Waugh sought to inspire potential future Australian cricketers.
I think it really can get a community together, particularly Indigenous communities and the young kids. If we can get them playing sport, working together, trying to achieve goals. I mean, sport does much more than just have results, it builds character.
Can you imagine an up-and-coming cricketer from any community, let alone an Indigenous one, Steve Waugh coming up and shaking your hand and giving you some batting advice and saying great bowling or great catch or great hit? You would never forget that.
I was born on the day when Heathen first made his double century.
Did you tell him?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Oh, that's cool.
Fresh from retaining cricket's famous Ashes against Australia, English cricketing heroes Michael Vaughan and Paul Collingwood were joined by Laureus Academy member Ian Botham to show their support.
I've been involved with the Laureus Foundation with project visits. It's great that we can come here and give something back. It's actually a very relevant project in terms of trying to create more of awareness to all the country to try and come out and play sport. Some of them playing cricket. I think Steve Waugh said it in his speech that he'd love to see an Aboriginal young player come through and represent Australia, and with these kind of projects I think they're going to get every chance, which is great to see.
The Indigenous Sports Programme also maintains and develops the many traditional Aboriginal games and activities that have been played in Australia for centuries as a means of preserving Aboriginal culture.
Learning about some of the games that the Indigenous people used to play, and it's good fun. The kids are having a great time.
In South Australia, Australian surfing legend and world champion Lane Beachley found herself in more familiar surroundings as the sports stars, now joined by Robbie Nash and Daley Thompson, visited another project run by the Australian Sports Commission on the coast.
We're here at Janjak Beach in Victoria, and we're introducing surfing to a whole bunch of Indigenous kids, and I think it's a really exciting project to get kids off the streets and give them something that's challenging and also fun to participate in.
The youngsters were from the Central Coast's Deadly Young Indigenous Surfing Programme, which has helped to increase the number of Indigenous children participating in one of Australia's most popular sports, helping to readdress an imbalance in Aboriginal children taking to the water.
It's really good for kids. I mean, it's good for people of any level to get in the water. It's healthy, mind, body, spirit. It's the first time you get up and catch a wave and feel that first glide. It's confidence building for kids.
And it wasn't only the kids who were novice surfers.
Next victim.
I'm not confident, this is my debut. Could be ugly.
At the heart of all the fun and games is the message central to Laureus, passed on by the Laureus Academy members and ambassadors, that sport can and will change children's lives for the better.
Sport is a tool that can be used to create social change. Sport has actually helped us realise so much about ourselves, but in turn it does bring out the best in other people as well.